My friends, in this video I'm going to show you what you can do if you have an engine which is burning too much oil. We have here a Nissan Micra K12, but it's in the diesel version with the Renault K9 TCI 1.5 diesel, and we have too much oil burning, about 800 ml at 500 kilometers. This problem comes most times from stuck oil rings of piston. So we're going to try to unstuck this oil ring. We're going to use a special cleaner, Berryman 12. We have removed the fuel injector and all the pipes which connect those fuel injectors for having and we are trying by turning the camshaft. We're trying to come all four pistons about in the same level, the same height, for having space and put the Berryman inside the combustion chamber. So we can use an iron to see how deep it's every piston and for take them all about in the same height. We'll put in the fuel injector holes this iron stick, and we check that all the pistons are in about the same height, the same level. If they aren't, we can turn by hand clockwise the pulley of camshaft. So now we're going to use the Berryman 12. It's the stronger cleaner for this job, and we're going to use about 70-80 ml for each cylinder. We put the Berryman slowly because the fuel injector hole are very small in diesel engine. You can make this procedure also for gas engine by removing the spark plugs. It's easier if we have a gas engine. So as you see, we put the Berryman in the first cylinder, and then we close the hole of the fuel injectors because we don't want to vaporize the Berryman. We are doing the same in the second cylinder. With the same amount of Berryman, about 70-80 ml. Also the third cylinder. Slowly. Watch your hand and try don't to split out the Berryman because it's very strong and can damage the color of the engine. We also put the Berryman in the fourth cylinder, and now we're going to wait for about 6 or more hours. We close all the fuel injector holes, and we are waiting for about 6 or more hours to repeat the same procedure after those hours. So we were waiting, And after 6 hours, we are putting more Berryman inside the cylinder, less amount, about 50 ml, because uh, this fluid goes through the piston rings and go in the oil pan of the engine. So we have to give more about 6 hours every 6 hours in each cylinder, and we are going to do this procedure for at least 4 times, 24 hours, or maybe more. I did this for about 48 hours. After we put the Berryman again, we are going and move a little bit the camshaft pulley for changing place the piston rings and help them unstuck. After 6 hours, we repeat the procedure. I use 3 bottles from Berryman B12. Each bottle have 444 ml, because I did this procedure about 77 or 8 times for 2 days, for being sure that having the best results. And after we finish this procedure, then we have to remove the fluid if there is in the combustor chamber. If there is more fluid, we are going to use a searing and we'll try to remove all the remaining fluid, if there is remaining fluid in the combustor chamber. In the first cylinder we have no Berryman, as you see in your screen. It all has gone through the piston ring to the oil of engine oil. The second cylinder also we don't have any Berryman, but as you see there is some Berryman in the third cylinder. So we remove this dirty, much dirty fluid. And in the fourth cylinder we also don't have any fluid inside. So now we have removed the most of the Berryman, but we have to do something more to remove all the remaining of the fluid. But before we are doing this, we have to change our engine oil with a cheap oil for cleaning the engine. Will work our engine for about 15 minutes with this oil. So we are going to use a cheap oil for cleaning all the Berryman who have left inside our engine. We replace the filter and we remove the dirty engine oil. As you see, it's very dirty and it's have been like water. That's why we have to replace. There is much bitumen mixed now with our engine oil. We can't work our engine without change the oil. It's very important. Okay, so we are putting new oil and filter. We have covered all the holes of fuel injector using old clothes. We also put something heavy above them. After we crank our engine for remove all the remaining of bitumen fluid, now we uncover the fuel injector holes and we crank again our engine. Now we are sure that there is no bitumen left inside the combustor chamber, but now we're going to put some engine oil, a little bit, about 4 or 5 ml, inside every cylinder. Before we have to do this before we start our engine, because there is no oil the inside the cylinders, and we are going to turn two full turns the pulley of camshaft for apply the oil all about the combustion chamber. It's very important to do this step before you start your engine. Okay, now we are going to put the fuel injector, and we need to use new copper washer. We remove the old from the injectors, the old washer, and we are putting the new one. It's important to replace the washers, otherwise you maybe have fuel leaks. We are putting the fuel injector in their holes. We have put them all, the 4 of them, and we now installing the fuel lines. And all the cable connectors. from the fuel injector and the glow plugs. Also the connectors we have removed from the fuel pump for don't pump fuel when we crank the engine. This is the fuel return line, and we pump several times the fuel pump for filling the fuel line with diesel. This is very important. You have to do many times until this pump get hard. We are putting the last parts we had removed, and now while we are pumping the fuel pump, we'll crank the engine. And we let the engine idling for about 15 minutes. After that, we are going to remove the oil and put new oil and filter. We are doing that for cleaning the inside of engine from the remaining of the bearing. Once more, for second time, we changing the oil after 15 minutes of engine working. As you see, the oil has already been very black, very dirty in 15 minutes, and that's because too much dirty from the inside of the engine has come to the oil. That's why we have to replace this oil, and also we replace the filter with a new one. And now we are putting the oil which suitable for this engine. Once more, I inform you that this is Renault K9K 1.5 DCI diesel engine. Many cars have this engine. So now we are start our engine. We are closing, turn it off again, and we are checking after that the oil level. We check the oil level with cold engine. As you see, is in the max point. So we are okay with the oil we have to put in our engine. Now, my friends, we have to make about 500 kilometers because we want to check if we have oil burning, because before this procedure, every 500 kilometers we need to add 800 ml of oil. As you see in your screen, we have already do more than 500 kilometers, so it's time to check the oil level with engine cold, with cold engine always, and as you see, the oil level is in the max point, so we have no more burning oil. We check one more for being sure. And once more, we see that we don't have to need to add more oil because our engine now is don't burn any oil at all. So my friends, with this procedure, which we can do this procedure and also for a gasoline engine, we manage to stop burning oil from stuck oil rings. So every time you have an engine, gasoline or diesel which burning oil, before you make a full service or buy or change your engine, you can try this method, which most of the times have very good results. Thank you very much for watching my video.